If you're thinking of moving to Sweden in 2026, stop for just 10 seconds. You might be making a financial mistake that will cost you 3 times what you budgeted, and almost nobody is talking about it. A new rule, quietly introduced this year, has flipped the entire system upside down. And by the end of this video, I'll show you the exact paperwork error that is making thousands of new immigrants instantly unemployable. Plus, the only country that is now 50% cheaper and safer than Sweden. But first, we need to talk about the collapse happening behind the scenes. Let's start with the housing crisis, because this is where everything begins to fall apart. You used to be able to show basic proof of accommodation. Not anymore. Sweden has raised the required rent minimums, landlords have become stricter, and most won't even look at your application unless you earn far above the new income floor. And here's the part no one is prepared for. Many municipalities now demand long-term, pre-approved housing contracts, something nearly impossible for new immigrants to secure from abroad. But that's nothing compared to the hidden $15,000 cost I'm going to reveal at the end. One that can instantly kill your move. Now let's talk cost of living. Sweden has increased the bank balance requirement for visas to the highest level it has ever been. If last year you needed around 13,000 euros, this year you might need almost triple. Why? Because the new migration policy calculates cost of living using projected inflation and self-sufficiency guidelines, not real market prices. This means Sweden expects you to financially survive at a level many locals themselves cannot. Stockholm grocery prices rising, electricity price spike, restaurant price inflation. And remember, we're still getting to that hidden fee. Next, the job market. Sweden is tightening the screws harder than almost any EU country. The minimum salary requirement is now linked to median national wages, not industry standards. So even if your profession is typically lower income, the government still expects you to earn well above the national average. Many companies simply stopped hiring foreigners because they can't meet the new salary rules. And here's the shocking part. One small paperwork mistake, like listing the wrong job code, can instantly invalidate your visa, making you unemployable, even if you already have a job offer. But before I reveal the only type of job that still reliably gets approved, we need to finish the last piece of the puzzle. Processing times in Sweden are now longer than at any point in the last decade. Applications that once took a few weeks can now drag on for months. And appeals are piling up so fast that many people are stuck in legal limbo without any clarity on their status. During this waiting period, applicants aren't allowed to start working, switch employers, or even leave the country in some cases. Every month of waiting becomes another month without income, another month of rent, and another month of full living expenses you must cover entirely on your own. And this is exactly where the secret $15,000 hit appears. Here's the open-loop payoff. The Swedish Migration Agency has quietly shifted expectations. Instead of calculating how much money you need based on the normal 12-month guideline, many applicants are now being evaluated based on extended timelines. That means Sweden expects your financial buffer to cover not just your first year, but also the extra months lost during processing delays. The official number on the website seems manageable, but in reality, caseworkers are asking for much higher proof of funds. What most people don't realize before moving to Sweden is that this crisis didn't happen by accident. It's the result of a major political shift. Over the last few years, Sweden's immigration policy has moved from being one of the most open in Europe to one of the most restrictive. Under pressure from rising housing shortages, voter backlash, and political promises to tighten the system, the government has quietly raised financial requirements, extended processing times, and added stricter housing rules, all without clearly warning new applicants. Processing queues are now longer than ever, appeals are heavily backlogged, and thousands of people are stuck waiting months with no clear timeline. During this waiting period, immigrants are expected to fully support themselves financially, even though they are often restricted in changing jobs or improving contracts. Every extra month of delay becomes another month of rent, food, transport, and insurance draining personal savings. This is where many people are blindsided. Sweden now expects applicants to maintain a much larger financial buffer to cover these extended delays, meaning the real amount you need in your bank account is far higher than the official number on government websites. For many applicants, this invisible buffer adds up to $10,000 to $15,000, money that disappears while you wait, not because you failed, but because the rules quietly changed. So what's the solution? Fortunately, you have two strong options. The first is for people who are still determined to move to Sweden. And in that case, this is the only strategy that works in 2026. Target high-demand roles where employers can actually meet the new median wage requirement. This means tech jobs like software engineers and data analysts, healthcare roles such as nurses and medical technicians, and skilled trade positions, electricians, welders, and mechanics, where salaries naturally sit above the threshold. These are currently the only categories where companies are both willing and legally able to sponsor foreign workers under the new rules. Anything outside these fields is becoming close to impossible. The second option is what most smart movers are choosing: a Plan B country that offers lower costs, easier visas, and stronger safety scores than Sweden in 2026. These are places where rent is affordable, requirements are transparent, and immigration policies are actually designed to attract new residents, not push them away. Now that you know how expensive and difficult Sweden has become, you need a backup plan. The video on your screen right now reveals the safest and most affordable countries to live in 2026. And one of them is 50% cheaper with a much easier visa process.